Dear friends, this time I bring in a small excerpt from the book of Dale Carnegie, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Here is an interesting and stimulating story of a woman. Her name is Thelma Thompson. During the war, she said, as she told me of her experience, during the war, my husband was stationed at an army training camp near Mojave Desert in California. I went to live there in order to be near him. I hated the place. I loathed it. I had never before been so miserable. My husband was ordered out on maneuvers in the Mojave Desert, and I was left in a tiny shack alone. The heat was unbearable, 125 degrees in the shade of a cactus. Not a soul to talk to. The wind blew incessantly, and all the food I ate and very air I breathed were filled with sand, and sand. I was so utterly wretched, so sorry for myself, that I wrote to my parents. I told them I was giving up and coming back home. I said I couldn't stand it 1 minute longer. I would rather be in jail. My father answered my letter with just 2 lines. 2 lines that will always sing in my memory. 2 lines that completely altered my life. Those 2 lines are as under. 2 men looked out from the prison bars. One saw the mud, the other saw the stars. 2 men looked out from the prison bars. One saw the mud, the other saw the stars. I read these 2 lines over and over. I was ashamed of myself. I made up my mind I would find out what was good in my present situation. I would look for the stars. I made friends with the natives, and their reaction amazed me. When I showed interest in their weaving and pottery, they gave me presents of their favorite pieces, which they had refused to sell to tourists. I studied the fascinating forms of the cactus and the yuccas and the Joshua trees. I learned about prairie dogs, watched for the desert sunsets, and hunted for seashells that had been left there millions of years ago, when the sands of the desert had been an ocean floor. What brought about this astonishing change in me? The Mojave Desert hadn't changed, but I had. I had changed my attitude of mind, and by doing so, I transformed a wretched experience into the most exciting adventure of my life. I was stimulated and excited by this new world that I had discovered. I was so excited, I wrote a book about it, a novel that was published under the title Bright Ramparts. I had looked out of my self-created prison and found the stars. Thelma Thompson, you discovered an old truth that Greek taught 500 years before Christ was born. The best things are the most difficult. Henry Emerson Forsyth repeated it again in 20th century. Happiness is not mostly pleasure, it is mostly victory. Yes, the victory that comes from the sense of achievement, of triumph, of turning our lemons into lemonades. Thanks for listening to this lengthy story. Hope you enjoyed the story and essence of it.